Hello, welcome back to JoJo's Bakehouse. I'm Ginny and today I'm going to be showing you how to make a Victoria sponge. So in front of me, these are all the ingredients that I'm going to use today. I like to use the stork with my Victoria sponge. In fact, all my sponges I use this one. And also then the vanilla paste I really like in the cream because I'm doing this one with the classic strawberry jam and cream. You can use buttercream, you can use whatever you like, but I'm doing this in the classic way. So we clear this down a little bit and then we'll get on with the ingredients. Okay, so when you're doing a Victoria sponge, obviously you're not going to be buttercreaming around the outside and everything, so those sponges need to look really good. So how you do your tins is going to be really important with this. So sometimes I use a spray, but I'm actually gone with the butter and the flour on the sides of this. I've just got the parchment paper in the bottom. So if I take a bowl, because I'm not near the sink, I'm just going to tap the side there, put in my parchment paper, and that's how I want that one to look. So this is, I've got the butter around the outside, so I haven't got a lot of butter, it's not caked in the butter. And then I've put some flour across the bottom here, and then we're just going to tip this and just keep going all the way around so that it clings, as you can see, to the side here. Keep going all the way around. Lovely. And then a little tap and put your paper back in. Now that's really important. You need to put the flour over the top of the butter because butter will burn easier, the heat will come and the butter will burn the side all around the outsides of your sponge and it won't give you that lovely soft look on the outside. So please make sure that you do make sure that it's completely covered in flour to protect that butter from burning and your cake will slip out really nicely. So there's my tins and they're ready. So let's begin with this. So I've got my butter here, I've got 250 grams, I will write all this underneath. So I've got 250 grams there of butter, of my unsalted butter you can use at a room temperature. I'm using the stork like I said. And then I've also got 250 of caster sugar or white sugar. I'm using a creaming paddle, so I don't need to be stopping and scraping down. If you don't have a creaming paddle, just make sure that you scrape down. Now this is the most important part of making the sponge. This must be whipped for between 3 to 5 minutes until it is really mousse-like. That's all the air that you're putting into this sponge, and that is so important. So if you haven't got a creaming paddle, I can just let mine go. If you don't have a creaming paddle, make sure that you let it go for a minute, stop, scrape down, another minute, stop, scrape down, and take it to the full 5 minutes. So let me put this on a medium to high speed for between 3 to 5 minutes and I'll be straight back to you. Okay, so that's mine. And it is so light and whipped up and like mousse, and this is what you want. So that is excellent. It just slips off the top there. It's so nice. And that's so much air in there, and that is the air for our cake. Really important. So, right, next we're gonna, my method, I always put everything in together now. So I've got 1 tablespoon of baking powder and I'm putting that into 250 grams of self-raising flour. Sorry, why am I saying a tablespoon? A teaspoon. Looking at the wrong one. Oh, hang on 1 second. I've got it. Teaspoon. Right. Don't want to make that mistake. So 1 teaspoon. In that goes. And then we're just going to put this straight over the top. There we go. Followed by 4 large eggs. Again, straight over the top. And 2 tablespoons of milk. There we are. And we're going to drop this down. Stand back because I haven't got tea towel to put over the top. And then we're going to mix this up, but this has to go on super low. So this is the lowest speed that you've got now, because we do not want that air to be knocked out. We are just incorporating this. So lowest speed. The tea towel really would have helped at that point. Right, and we're just going to leave this until it's completely combined, and it'll take up to around about a minute. You don't want to let it go for more than a minute. And then as soon as that's done there, we're going to be able to put it in our tins. Again, if you haven't got the creaming paddle, stop at 30 seconds, scrape down, and go again for the rest of the time. But this is completely mixed up now, so I didn't need to let it have a minute. That was about 40-45 seconds. So let me show you what this looks like. Give that, there we go. Let's get rid of that there. Here we are. So I've got some flour around the outside, so I am just going to give mine a bit of a scrape straight into the bottom. There we go, being very light with it, lifting up from the bottom and down, so lifting up and down, and this is how mine looks, and you can just see all the air in that. It is so good. Right, so next we are going to put it into our trays. Now the best way to do this is to measure them and make sure on the scales, and make sure that you've got the same amount, but I'm going to try and be clever. So what you would do there is just see how much mixture that you've got and divide it by 2 and then measure them. But like I said, that's not what I'm doing. Always go from the middle, pull to the outside, to the middle, out, because people tend to leave the outside parts. They seem to go round, and then on the outside you've got it thinner, and the middle will naturally look after itself. So always out on those outside parts first. There we go, there's one. Still got more mixture. I'm just judging it now to see. All the way out to the outside. You can see I keep putting my finger in underneath there just to hold the parchment paper down. You could have put some butter on the bottom there, but there we are. Right. Lovely. Just a little bit there on the bottom. Lovely. Right. Let's get this in. And one there. And there. And these are looking so good now. But you want to make sure you clean that bowl out completely. There we go, I've got a completely clean and empty bowl. That's why I was just making sure that everything was completely and utterly incorporated there on the bottom. And then we'll just spin around. Like I said, always out to the edge. You pull out like this. You've got like a dam, and then just around and around, and it'll just sort itself out there then. Excellent, see? You just don't want those sides to be thinner. So again, out, out, out. Spin it around. See, when you do the sides, you naturally push it down. That's just what happens. So that's why we pull to the outside first. And there we are. And I've seen some places where they bang the thing to get it level. Don't bang anything, you want to take the air out of this. So I've got my oven now preheated to 160, that's a fan assisted oven, 170 for a conventional oven, and I am going to pop these in now, and I'm going to check on them. I'm thinking this is going to take around about 25 minutes, but I'll let you know exactly how long it takes when I'll take them out of the oven. So I'll see you in a moment. Right, I'm out of the oven. So they took 25 minutes at 160. So they're still really hot, so I'm not going to do anything with them. I was able to tell by the touch, like when I touch the top of these, they're really, really springy and spongy. But if you take a toothpick and just take it in and out, it should come out clean. Now when I say clean, it doesn't, if there's crumbs on it, that's fine because that's cooked. It's when raw batter is stuck on it, which means then it's not cooked. So these are good. So I'm just going to leave these alone for the moment and let them cool down in the tin. I don't want to play with them too much. They've come away from the sides fairly well there. Just giving them a little pull in and they're coming away really nicely, but I don't want to fiddle with that. I'll take a knife and just give them a clean up afterwards. So for the moment, nothing else we can do. I would normally make the buttercream now while we're waiting, but with cream you don't want to make it too far in advance because it can just drop. So as soon as these are cool, we'll turn them out and then we'll make the cream and we'll put the jam on and we'll be all done. So I'll see you in a bit. Right, I'm going to show you how to get these out of the tins now. So I can put my hands on. You wouldn't want to fill them just yet. This has been sat on the side for about 10 minutes. So I've got a palette knife here, or you can just use a regular butter knife. Go around the outside and just kind of push. I'm pushing in. So as you, if there's any stuck bits, because I don't want to drag around because I want that to be all nice on the sides. So here we go, just pushing it in all the way around. And it should just slot through. Shouldn't be stuck in any way because we did that butter and the flour, and it really is a good way. Right. A little bit of a wiggle, and I can feel it moving, so I know it's okay. So I'm going to put my hand on the top and tip. Make sure my fingers are wide so it's not going to fall apart. And there we are. Cut that. And it's so, so soft. You've got these gorgeous outer edges as well. Got a couple of little bits sticking up, so I'm just flicking those off. And we're going to do the same with the other one, and we're going to leave it here probably around about another 15 minutes, and then I'm going to get started on the inside. But so far, really good. So I'll see you soon. Okay, right. The assembly and the cream. So, first off, cream. Take my bowl off. I want 300 grams of double cream. So here's my scales. Pop on my bowl. Set it to 0. Cream a bit of a shake. Now I know I say 300 grams, or 300 mils, grams. I always weigh out my liquid. So now it's 230. And 290. Brill. So I've got my 300 in there. Then I also want to add a tablespoon. I say a tablespoon and a half, so I'm going to do a heaped tablespoon of icing sugar, and this will just give it a little bit of strength. And then vanilla. Now use a really nice vanilla for this. I am using a vanilla paste because it will give that lovely little effect. So I'm going to do half a teaspoon. If I can find half a teaspoon. There it is. Right. Oh, I've got some dust inside there. Hang on one sec. You just remove that dust. Lovely. Okay, half a teaspoon. Lovely. Right. And then we're going to whip it up. Now be very careful when you whip this because you don't want to take it over because it'll curdle up and won't go very nice. So we're going to drop it down. Take it just to a medium, just to begin with. You want to make sure all of that icing sugar is incorporated. And we're just going to watch it and I'll show you how long. So if I have a quick little look, right, and I'm going to tell you how long this takes. Now I've turned it up higher so it's noisy for you. I'm going to come back to you when this has come near the end and tell you how long it took. Right, so I'm done. And this took 2 minutes. So I'll show you what it looks like. Let me just give it a good stir round. Right, and this is what it looks like. So it's got form to it, as you can see, but it's just been taken off just before it's gone to that not nice curdled look. So that took just under 2 minutes, so about 1 minute and 45 seconds. Right, so we'll leave that in there for the moment, and then we're going to come on to assembling this up. Now I've just got a regular plate here because I thought if I just do a plate, that's probably what you've got at home, so it's easier. Let's just move that to one side. So on the bottom part, there we go, we'll just remove this. You can choose to be over that way, or you can choose to be this way. Now I quite like the rusticy look on the top for a Victoria sponge. I think that's kind of normally what it is. So I'm actually going to just pop mine down that way, which is unusual for me because I don't normally do this. I normally stick with the other side. Right, we have to open this strawberry jam. This could be fun in itself. I did it! Yay me! Right, so take your jam, but just give it a stir up to begin with, and then you don't want loads. Smooth on our jam, just like this, all the way round. Now don't forget, when you see this on pictures, you do see that jam. Now you don't want it oozing all down the side, but you do see it. So you do want to just make sure that it is up to the edges where you are going to see it. Now I haven't weighed out this jam, as you can see, because I think it's quite a personal thing. Everybody likes their jam. Some like it really thick, some like it thinner. So there's really down to preference with this one. So again, I'm just, for the look, just trying to make sure it's all around the edges there. Oh, that's a giant strawberry. I don't want that. It just won't be so nice when you bite into it. Right. Let's see. Now as coverage goes, I actually think this looks quite nice. It's not really flimsy. It's evenly across everywhere there. And you can see it all around the sides as well, so you're going to get that really nice view when you've put a little bit more on this side here, it's a bit lower. When you have finished and you've got those pictures. There we go. Right, and then the cream. So let's put that there. Take this out. And then I've got my other cranked palette knife. And before I put it on, because it will slide because of the jam, I'm just going to blob it on like this to begin with. And again, I've done 300 mils, grams, whatever, of this. My family love cream, and this cream we've done in here with a bit of ice and sugar, it's actually chantilly cream, if ever you've heard those words before, and the vanilla in there. They love it, so I put a fair bit of cream in. Right, then, just want to push it around the sides here. Again, not too much, because when the weight of that lid goes on, you don't want it all to splurt out the sides. Right. We are very nearly there. My trouble is, I'm a perfectionist. Now I've used all of that cream. Really making sure I've got it at the sides. So there we go, right. There we go. I am now happy to put the top on. She says. She's gone in again. Right, finished. The lid. So again, I'm putting the more rustic side up. Make sure you marry this up. Oh, look at that. And you've just got that cream coming out the sides there. Just, obviously with clean hands, which mine are, just push in certain bits, just use a spoon or something, but I don't want anything to give a certain look. So now we just give it its coating of icing sugar over the top, which is for the classic. So here we go. You can go around the plate as well because it will just finish it off nicely. And there we have our Victoria sponge. A little bit more around the plate, just think it looks really nice. And we're done. That is Victoria sponge. It's actually not difficult, and it's just fun. You can use strawberry jam, you can use raspberry jam, you can just do jam. Traditionally, a lot of women's groups only did it with jam and no cream, so it's really your choice on what you put inside those. So I hope you've enjoyed this, and can't wait for you to try it yourself. I will see you soon. Take care. Bye bye.